You're listening to the Red Team Download, powered by Convergent DS, where offense informs defense. Every week, we break down real-world threats, active campaigns, and the evolving tactics attackers are using to breach your infrastructure and mine your resources. Today, we're talking about a stealthy new campaign that links cryptojacking, ransomware, and backdoor access into a sprawling, financially motivated operation. Let's start at the top. Researchers at VulnCheck have uncovered a new malware campaign that exploits a high-severity vulnerability in Apache HTTP server, tracked as CVE 2021 41773. This path traversal flaw, rated 7.5 on the CVSS scale, was originally patched back in 2021, but as with many so-called end days, it's still being exploited in the wild. This time, it's being used to deliver a crypto mining payload called LinuxSys. So how does the attack work? It begins with a malicious request to a vulnerable Apache server. The attacker then uses curl or wget to pull down a shell script from a site called repositorylinux.org. But here's where it gets clever. The actual LinuxSys miner is hosted across 5 different legitimate websites that have been compromised. These sites use valid SSL certificates, making the infection look like routine traffic and helping it bypass detection tools. This gives the attacker 2 key advantages. They separate the download site from the malware delivery, and they leverage trusted infrastructure to stay under the radar. Once installed, the malware configures itself to run on startup by deploying a secondary script, cron.sh, ensuring persistence on infected systems. Now, here's where things start to scale. This LinuxSys miner campaign isn't operating in isolation. It's part of a larger ongoing effort that has also targeted known vulnerabilities in Atlassian Confluence, Chamilo LMS, Metabase BI Platform, GeoServer GeoTools, and Palo Alto Firewalls. Each of these has been weaponized to deliver LinuxSys and expand the botnet's reach. And the tactics are consistent. Compromised third-party infrastructure, obfuscated shell scripts, multi-stage delivery, and selective targeting to avoid honeypots. This isn't smash-and-grab malware. This is low-noise, long-term mining for Monero and persistent profit. Now, here's the real twist. Researchers also identified operational overlap between the LinuxSys campaign and another malware family, H2Miner, which has historically delivered the Kinsing remote access Trojan and Cryptominer. But in a new campaign, the same delivery mechanism has started pushing a Visual Basic script-based ransomware variant called Cryptominers, a strain of Lacrix ransomware. This marks the first documented crossover between Kinsing-based infrastructure and ransomware operations, a potential evolution in how financially motivated threat groups monetize their access. So what does Cryptominers do? It starts by terminating security tools, databases, and other key processes. It drops Kinsing and XM rig to begin mining. Then it delivers the ransomware payload. Cryptominers modifies the Windows registry to disable tools like msconfig, gpedit, and procxp, disables Microsoft Defender, Bitdefender, and Kaspersky. Attempts to overwrite the master boot record, rendering the system unbootable, and drops a ransom note asking for 1,000 in cryptocurrency. But here's the twist. It doesn't store or transmit encryption keys, and it uses XOR-based encryption that can be trivially broken. This makes Cryptominers more scareware than ransomware. Its goal is psychological: panic, confusion, and distraction. According to Fortinet, this is likely a smokescreen tactic, a noisy detour to hide the true motive: resource hijacking for crypto mining. And if that wasn't enough, enter Ghost Container, a custom backdoor recently disclosed by Kaspersky. Ghost Container is suspected to be used in advanced persistent threat APT campaigns targeting government agencies and high-tech companies in Asia. It exploits older Microsoft Exchange vulnerabilities, likely CVE 2020-0688, to deploy a multifunctional, modular backdoor that gives attackers full control of the server without needing persistent external communication. Instead, Ghost Container hides commands inside normal-looking web requests, can execute shellcode, load .NET bytecode proxy traffic, and run arbitrary commands, and has no traditional C2 infrastructure, making it extremely stealthy. Kaspersky calls it one of the most sophisticated post-exploitation frameworks seen this year. So, what are the big takeaways? Cryptojacking isn't dead. It's getting smarter and stealthier, hiding behind fake updates, repurposed infrastructure, and even fake ransomware. Malware is converging. Ransomware, miners, rats, and spyware are now delivered through shared pipelines, with AI-assisted tool generation lowering the barrier to entry. APT and commodity malware are starting to look alike. From Ghost Container's stealthy exchange implants to Kinsing's automated privilege escalation, attackers are blending techniques across the traditional categories of threat actor. So what can you do? Patch old vulnerabilities, especially Apache, Exchange, and exposed web apps. Scan for unauthorized scripts like cron.sh or hidden startup tasks. Use behavioral detection tools that can catch resource hijacking. Monitor for signs of suspicious outbound traffic, even to trusted domains. And stay up to date on open source threats, like Kinsing and Linux Sys, because they're getting better, not going away. That's it for this episode of the Red Team Download. From Apache exploits to artificial intelligence-generated ransomware, the threat landscape is blurring. Stay sharp, stay patched, and stay ahead. Brought to you by Convergent DS, where offensive security meets real-world impact. We'll see you next time.